name is Céline Gray Pellissier. I'm born in Saint-Flour in Auvergne in France, and I live in Dubai. I'm a personal coach. One of the big contributions I want to do in my work and in my life is to enable people to take action in their life and to get what it is that they want in their life. There are a lot of people that look and contemplate what they want and get a lot of what they don't want. So one of the ways I found I could contribute to the individual and make that world a little bit better was to use the skills I already have into enabling those people to step beyond. And it's very satisfying. I found that it's got kind of a ripple effect. I am happily married and I've got a gorgeous, gorgeous baby daughter of 10 months. I'm very proud, very proud mummy. And I have made loads of friends around the world when I've been travelling and working in the UK, in Ireland, in France, and now in Dubai. So again, I am very proud of the relationship I've built with those people, all very different and all very faithful to the friendship we have.
Mm. What's your earliest memory of, let's not say religion, but God or faith or, anything that you and I might today call?
In terms of manifestation, you mean?
Or just, your awareness or, something other than the ritual.
The awareness would be the cross with the Christ on it, which I've always hated because I've always wondered why would you actually nail somebody on the wall? That's been very gory for me, and there was some everywhere. So I had one on top of my bed, obviously, and there's some in the. My parents are Christian. They never used to go to mass and things like that, but they used to send me, and I could never understand that. And when I came an age where I said I don't want to go anymore, they said okay, and I was like, oh, I would have, said that ages ago if I knew the answer. And they're still in my grandparents' house as well. Again, role model for me, both my grandparents. Very tough condition of living, very small farms in the mountains with very, very, very hot in summer, very, very cold and loads of snow. So you're completely blocked out from any civilization for about 2 months in winter at the time. Now we've got four-wheel drive and stuff like that on the roads. Faith in God was huge because they would appeal for the culture, for the weather, for the being of the animals, for the health of the family, for a lot of things. So it was this crossover that everybody would actually pray. That was my awareness. And I didn't quite agree with those, but that's okay.
And today, how do you think about God or a higher power?
Things have changed. Things have changed a lot. I have travelled and seen different things around, good and bad, on the name of religion. And the same way the creation was always something that appealed to me, it still does resonate very strongly with me. And my belief now is that religion is universal. You can turn to faith and it's pretty universal. What I found is there's so many common points in so many religions. I would find it very restrictive to actually go to one specifically and exclude the other ones. So I go more towards my faith in every individual. I believe that every single person here in the whole world, no matter what they did, is a beautiful being of light. And there are restrictions that they set to themselves to actually do some of the actions that they do. I really truly believe that everybody is a beautiful being of light. And there's many people looking for spirituality in the world all the time. And in the name of search of that spirituality, they might do good things or they might do bad things. And what I found is that a lot of people actually push the responsibility on the religion or the faith more than on themselves. And it doesn't agree with the creation of the world that we do for me, because we're all responsible for the world around us to a high level. So I really truly believe each individual has got all the resources that they need and the highest intention to actually create a beautiful world around them. it's coming from quantum physics and Carl Jung's perception is projection. The only world that is real is the one that is inside of you, because that's the only one you know. My faith is in the individual itself, and it's more like the individual taking responsibility for what they do and assuming responsibility for what they do is what I believe. I believe into that. I believe in a higher level of consciousness. I believe in the power of the unconscious mind, what we call the higher self. So I'm more looking forward to people look for spirituality all the time. I believe the reverse. I believe we all spiritual being already having a physical experience here, and that our vessel is our body and whatever we do on this earth. It makes things very easy for me that way, because I'm already in touch by just believing this. I'm already in touch with my spiritual side. So I'm already in touch by doing meditation or just, doing some relaxation techniques. It's very easy for me to actually transcend. And it's just, and also I take 100% responsibility for what I do now, because it's whatever I'm going to contribute to do here around me that is important, not searching for something that I already have.
Tell me, but I'll ask a few questions
okay.
around it. So do you have a concept of a higher power? Or is it this greater consciousness you spoke of? Or?
The concept of the higher power, maybe I start by the bottom of this. We have a conscious mind, which is the mind we think about. We addition, calculate, it's whatever comes into our mind, the little oh shit voice that actually goes on and off. We've got an unconscious mind, which rules our body, just pumps our heart and fills air with our lungs. We don't actually have to consciously think about that. Dreams, metaphors, emotion, a lot of the other things. I believe in the higher self, which would be the blueprint of the blueprint of your soul, if you want, the blueprint of your body in perfect health, and the blueprint of the essence of your spirit, you as a spiritual being. So if we're all spiritual being having physical experience, the higher self would be the spiritual part of it. And I really do believe as well that higher selves and unconsciousness to some level communicate with every single other higher self of beings on the planet. So the higher level of consciousness would be something at that level or further. There has been a lot of experiment done about this. It's quite funny. On how an idea can actually jump from one place to the other place with no potential explanation. So they say it's by frequency of the waves that the brain is sending and all that kind of stuff. Or it could be by a higher level of consciousness. Somebody sent a thought into the universe, and somebody else was looking for that thought, takes it, operates it, and actually uses it. And they've seen that in the animal world and in the physical world. So the creator itself, I don't actually have a concept of whoever created that in the first place. It's more of a global consciousness that is just evaluating. And might not have been into a human form before, might have been under something else, and that doesn't matter because that energy is still there. We all have, energy around our body, so we've got the magnetic field, etc. So ways that energy is going from people to people, Reiki or Jitsu or a lot of things you can do. When I've had serious health issues and I didn't actually know how to deal with it, and I dealt with it in a very mechanic way, up to a point where I used some of the skills I had, and I thought, well, that's a proof in the pudding, that's work, it does work. I had no ovulation, couldn't have a baby, and then really did serious introspection in terms of unconscious mind, which rules the body, meditation, got my a blueprint of my body in perfect health from the higher self. 21 days later, I was pregnant, which was a very, very big thing for me. And for my husband, who was a very pragmatic, computer-based person, I was like, right, that works. My greatest wish, that would be peace. That would be, inner peace for everybody, every single individual that would actually love themselves and have inner peace. I believe that just one thing that just could wipe the world and just, instead of just fighting and just going over tiny minor details, because people fight about details. They don't fight about the big, highest intention or purpose. They fight over the tiny, gritty, bloody details. If they were at peace with themselves, if they were to love themselves, the projection of the world they have around them would be dramatically different. I really, truly believe that. So that starts there. There's a lot of job to be done.
When I show them your portrait, this, I tell them a few sentences about you.
There's many things. I'm not quite sure what they want to hear. Or read. The number one thing is contribution. We all have a chance to contribute at a smallest level as possible. So whoever wants to contribute to their neighbours, their friends, the environment, the planet, it's it's their own doing. So what about me? I guess it comes back to my purpose, is to empower people to take action and be responsible for who they are and love themselves and find inner peace. That's really, whether it's at a social level, friend level, family level, work level, it doesn't matter. Charity work, it's all around that one contribution and making sure people are at peace and love themselves. Because I really, truly believe this has massive impact on the world.